Hi my friends, welcome back. This is A Course in Miracles lesson 48. Thank you for being here. Today we are going to read the lesson, highlight a few things or make some comments and do a guided practice together. So let's do it. A Course in Miracles lesson 48. There is nothing to fear. The idea for today simply states a fact. It is not a fact to those who believe in illusions, but illusions are not facts. In truth, there is nothing to fear. It is very easy to recognize this, but it is very difficult to recognize for those who want illusions to be true. Today's practice periods will be very short, very simple, and very frequent. Merely repeat the idea as often as possible. You can use with your eyes open at any time and in any situation. It is strongly recommended, however, that you take a minute or so whenever possible to close your eyes and repeat the idea slowly to yourself several times. It is particularly important that you use the idea immediately should anything disturb your peace of mind. The presence of fear is a sure sign that you are trusting your own strength. The awareness there is nothing to fear shows that somewhere in your mind, though not necessarily in a place you recognize as yet, you have remembered God, and let His strength take the place of your weakness. The instant you are willing to do this, there is indeed nothing to fear. That's the lesson, that's the text. Beautiful. I immediately feel like there is such a relief, there is nothing to fear. And all that we have feared before were based in illusions and were based in us putting our strength in our own weaknesses. So it's very a complement from yesterday's lesson. God is the strength in which I trust. As say here, where is it? The presence of fear is a sure sign that you are trusting in your own strength. And yesterday the lesson was God is the strength in which I trust. So when we switch from trust our own strength to trust in the strength of God, God is the strength in which I trust. And when remembering God and recognizing the place of God within us is the instant that we are sure that indeed there is nothing to fear. Yeah, these lessons feels like a relief, a peaceful comfort message that all the worries, all the fears we had, and sometimes we still have, they are not real or they are not truth. There is enough to fear, nothing to sacrifice, nothing to suffer for. In truth, there is only love. So today, super simple, super easy, we're merely repeating the truth. There is nothing to fear as much as we can during the day, with eyes open, with eyes closed, whatever you are doing. If you are cooking, if you are walking, if you are talking to someone, if something happened, you have to respond an email or whatever, there is nothing to fear. And this statement brings such a certainty, trust, strength, confidence. There is nothing to fear. And then, besides the many repetitions we are going to do during the day, it's very recommended that we take a minute or so to close our eyes and repeat the idea slowly several times. I feel that's to really embody and integrate this truth into us and to memorize this truth to be stronger than the illusions and beliefs that we usually have. So let's do this. Pretty simple, there is nothing to fear. So I invite you to close your eyes, to take a deep breath. To relax into the present moment here right now. And then we're going to repeat a few times, at least for 2 minutes. You can say out loud or in your head. You can put your hand in your heart if you want to. And let's say slowly, there is nothing to fear. 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 Take some deep breaths. Bring this statement into your heart. Let it cleanse your doubts, your fears and worries. And act as a shield that there is nothing to fear. And remember the lesson of yesterday. God is the strength in which I trust. So we have integrated that, and today there is nothing to fear. There is nothing to fear. And be in this state of deep peace, trust, certainty, confidence. This elevated state there is nothing to fear. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have an amazing day again, and see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.